Can I hear a little commotion for the shirt? Literally my two favorite things, Star Wars and Taylor Swift. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Listen, I know I just made a spring TBR video. I was being very hopeful that spring would last a couple more weeks here in Texas. Unfortunately, spring isn't gone. Spring lasted 2 days. Yes, you heard me right. It literally lasted probably like 2 days total of like genuine spring weather, but now it's really hot here. It's gross and it's nasty, but it's also the best time of year to read, at least in my opinion. I love reading in the summer. I have more time. I love to go sit by the pool and read a book, especially a romance. So I have a few summer romance, well, a lot of them are romances, but I have a lot of summer book recommendations for you guys. And then I thought at the end of this video I could tell you guys my summer TBR in case you wanted to add any of these to your list. A lot of them are new releases that I want to get to and you know, are just screaming summer vibes. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're gonna start off with a bang, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Obviously, this is giving everything summer needs to give. Emily Henry is the queen of banter. This isn't my favorite Emily Henry book, but I will say I still really like it, and I think it's perfect for the summer, obviously. Tension between the two, the characters, the character development, the romance, it's literally perfect. It's really great. And this wouldn't be a summer recommendation video if I didn't give you a shit ton of Emily Henry recommendations. I narrowed it down to these two, but my second one for you is going to be Happy Place by Emily Henry. This one is more of an Emily Henry book for the people who kind of want a little bit more depth to their books. I would say that Happy Place has just a little bit more depth. Of course, it's still a romance. There's still that, you know, signature Emily Henry banter in this, but this is definitely set in the summer in a beach in Maine. The setting is literally perfect. We get a group of friends. It's a second chance romance. So if that is right up your alley, definitely give it a go. I will say I personally enjoyed this one a little bit better than Beach Read. But again, like, it's an Emily Henry book. I love all of Emily Henry's books. This one is just a very hard hitter for me. It's a little bit more on the deeper side. I feel like I could connect to win a little bit more. And so for that reason, I liked it more, but definitely these are both great summer recommendations. So yeah, it also wouldn't be a recommendation video if I wasn't recommending you an Abby Jimenez book. And for that, I have Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is a standalone in a sort of like series. They're all interconnected. You can read them out of order. I suggest, especially for this one in particular, read them in order. So that's going to be Part of Your World, Yours Truly, and then Just for the Summer. If you've already read the first two and you're looking for your sign to read the last book in the interconnected standalone series, this is definitely your sign. Obviously, summer is in the title. The cover is giving very summer. Kind of same thing with Happy Place. This is a little bit of a deeper romance. It's still really funny. It has that Abby Jimenez like little quirk to it. The two main characters meet on Reddit, so very Abby Jimenez quirky. One of my favorites. I am honestly kind of wanting to reread this because I love it. I loved Yours Truly and Just for the Summer pretty equally. Obviously, Yours Truly is my favorite book of like all time, but this one is a close second for me. Next, I have a pretty recent read for me, and that is Summer in the City by Alex Astor. You've probably been seeing this everywhere. Alex Astor is really good at marketing herself and marketing her books. This is actually her first romance novel. She is known for doing Light Lark, which is a fantasy novel series, and so this is her first romance, and I will say I devoured this up. It is a billionaire romance. It's set in New York. I love anything set in New York. I feel like this is the first time I've read something set in, I was about to say this is the first time I've read something set in New York in the summer, but I literally have another book recommendation that is the same setting. So anything in New York is right up my alley. Billionaire, it's not normally my favorite thing, but for some reason, how down bad the male main character was for this female main character was just doing it for me. I really enjoyed it. And in this book, you kind of get to follow them along the most like famous stops of New York, which I think is really fun. Obviously, it's going to transport you. During your little beach read on the beach, you're going to actually be in New York with these two main characters. And I really enjoyed it. I think that the banter is great. I am really interested in more romance books from Alex Astor because I know I haven't heard I've heard very mixed opinions on her fantasy series, but I will say that this is definitely worth a shot. If you don't like billionaire romances, maybe this isn't for you. I will say I don't normally reach for them, but something about the male main character in this was making me giddy, like literally so giddy. Next up, I have The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This is the second book that is set in New York during the summertime. It is a magical realism book, which is definitely different for me, but it definitely works. I think Ashley Poston is really great at those kind of things. I'm pretty sure most of her novels are magical realism, and we're kind of like going back in time and then we're going into present. There's a magical apartment. It's really cool. It's a really great concept of a book. It's very different, obviously very summery. They literally picture yourself reading this on a beach. So cute. And I really liked the character development of both of these people in this book, especially the female main character. She kind of like, we get to like follow her and her journey of finding herself as well. Next, I have a very, very recent read, and that is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I literally just finished this yesterday or the day before when I'm filming this, and I really, really enjoyed it. It's my first Carly Fortune book. I think this book is a part of an interconnected standalone series. Obviously, if it's ever an interconnected standalone series, you don't have to read them in order. I didn't because this one just came out and I wanted to be a part of the hype, so I read it and I really, really enjoyed it. Obviously, the cover is giving very summer. Everyone knows Carly Fortune is like the summer romance queen. That is just like her genre, and it's really great. This book was honestly really, really beautiful, and their relationship was just amazing. It's a lot like another book I'm going to recommend you a little bit later, but it's a very adult relationship in which they're trying to kind of find themselves outside of their like most recent relationship, outside of their jobs. They're trying to, our female main character is trying to spark her love for photography again. They have like a summer bucket list, so they're acting like they're trying to revert themselves back to 17, especially our female main character. She feels as though when she was like 17, she was kind of uptight or like super shy, and so now she just wants to do those things that she like missed out on, and she's doing it with our male main character Charlie, who she meets, and it was just really cute. I listened to it, and I definitely recommend the audiobook as well because it was just so good. It was so good. Next, I have Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. This is a heavily emotional book, and I mean emotional. Our female main character, Lou, is battling her journey of grief after losing her childhood best friend to cancer. And she is a nanny in the city. She's taking all these different nannying gigs to literally keep her out of the apartment that she shared with her best friend because she is just feeling so much grief. But she meets our male main character. His name is Miles. He is super grumpy, but he literally sees right through her. She kind of tries to put on this front that she is not sad, that she has moved on from the death of her best friend and all this stuff, but he literally sees right through her. And in the book, we kind of follow her journey with grief and, you know, learning to live again after losing someone that was literally so close to her. Like, they were best friends, but really, like, in all seriousness, they were like more like sisters. So Lou has this live again list, which I guess lists are just like a really popular thing in summer romances because this is becoming a trend, but I'll eat it up every single time. I will eat it up every single time. I love a good like list trope. But anyways, Lou has a live again list where she does a bunch of these things to, you know, help bring her out of her grief and bring her closer to her best friend. And Miles just kind of helps her with that while she is nannying his niece. Again, I cannot stress this enough. This is going to pack an emotional punch, so that's probably not something you're gonna want to bring to the beach, but it's definitely something you should read in the summer. The summer vibes are there. It is a great romance. It's Grumpy Sunshine. It was just really special, and I think the author did a great job at portraying grief in this way. I think it was just really special. Alrighty, my last recommendation for you guys is Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. This is definitely a very adult novel, not in like the sense of like physicality, but I would say that this is very adult because we're following we're following Allie, who is trying to find herself outside of her marriage. She is in the middle of getting divorced. She doesn't really know who she is without her partner. She ends up bumping into this guy and she doesn't really know how to navigate dating in kind of like later life. Obviously she's not old. I don't really know how to explain this, but dating in later life with kids, being a very recent divorcee. So I definitely think that this is a little bit deeper of a romance book, still a great romance book. We get to kind of follow her finding herself, like I said, after a divorce with her, you know, new little summer fling. We get to see them kind of, I guess I don't really know how to say this. Like we kind of get to see them be childish with each other, which I think is just honestly really beautiful when you're older and, you know, life is just so stressful. Like Allie has kids and she has her own job and all this stuff. Like she has all this stuff going on, but when you are able to kind of be silly and be childish with your partner, it just, something about that is so special. And so this book is very, very special. It is a little bit deeper, but we're still getting that summer, like on the lake, or is it on a lake or on a beach? One of those things. We're near a body of water, so definitely a very great read, especially if you are looking for some of these tropes. I think this will be right up your alley. Okay, this is the time where we transition into my summer TBR because it is long. It's longer than the ones I'm gonna give you today, but it's pretty long. So starting off with yet another Emily Henry book, Book Lovers. I have never read this. I don't know why. It's one of her, not like an old release, but it's older than the ones I've been reading. I think it's what, like 4 releases behind. So definitely gonna read this. I feel like Emily Henry books are the epitome of a summer read. So definitely gonna get to this. I'm very excited. I want to do like a Emily Henry ranking video. I don't know if that'll be like a short or an actual video, but I have to read this one before I do that. Next, I have a very recent release, and that is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I haven't read the One Dark Window duology. I want to, but I've heard great things. I feel like that is right up my alley, and I also feel like this one is right up my alley, and I had to get, like, literally, I'm not like a huge, okay, that's a lie. I'm a pretty big sucker for sprayed edges, but this one with the dagger, like, genuinely, like, baffled me, and I feel like Rachel Gillig's writing is right up my alley. I feel like everyone who I share similar taste with rate her books really highly, and so I'm very excited. This is definitely high up there. I keep seeing it on my TBR card over here, and I'm like dying to just get my hands on it. Next, I have a release that came out this week when I'm filming that, and that is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. I am a Ali Hazelwood stan. If Ali Hazelwood has no fans, I am dead. I love everything she writes. I haven't read all of her books, but I love, love, love everything she writes, and I cannot believe she literally just came out with Deepened in February, and now she just releases. I don't know what she's on, but she is definitely not one of those authors to sacrifice quality over quantity. Like, yes, she is still writing a lot, but they're still so good. So I don't know how she does it, but I need this now because this is kind of like an interconnected standalone to my favorite Ali Hazelwood book, Not in Love. 2 of the characters in that book, we get their love story and their whole backstory on this, and it is an age gap, which I'm like okay with. Like, it doesn't really bother me. I don't think it's huge, but it's Ali Hazelwood. I'm gonna read it and I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he's 50 and she's 20, okay? Okay, now that we've settled that. Then I have My Friends by Fredrik Backman. I want to love Fredrik Backman's writing so bad. I tried Beartown, DNF'd it because I just could not. I liked his short story that I think it's called The Answer Is No. Loved that. And I know people love his writing. I know it's deep. I know it's poetic. I know it's beautiful. Like, I get that, but I just couldn't with Beartown. So I'm gonna try this. Obviously, the covers Giving Summer. It just came out in the summer, and I want to be on the Frederick Bachman train. Like I need to be there. So I'm gonna read it. Then I have The Names, and this is a lit fic book, and the premise of it is just so interesting to me. It is kind of a book that goes down like the different pathways of your life based on what you were named. Like if I were named something completely different, what would happen in my like lifetime? Like everything, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain that. But like it just goes down the pathway of possibilities that you run into. Like your fate is set in stone like when you're named, and all these things just kind of unravel. But what if you were named a different name? And that's what this book is about. It sounds so cool, like genuinely right up my alley. I love weird books like that, and so I have to get my hands on it. I'm also, like I've said 100,000 million times, in my literary fiction era. So last but not least, I have Atmosphere by no other than Taylor Jenkins Reid. She is definitely like the queen of book talk. A lot of her books are on Book Talk, and for me, she's very hit or miss. So I want to give this one a try. I love space. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an astronaut, like genuinely. I wanted to be a vet, and then I also wanted to be an astronaut. So I love space things. Like obviously, like I love Interstellar, and so I just love space. And so I'm very excited about this. I have very high hopes for it, even though it is a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. Nothing wrong with Taylor Jenkins Reid's books and her writing style. It's just not necessarily for me. I've found with the books that I've read by her, but I do have very high hopes for this one. It's just a cool premise, and it's giving very summer, and it comes out soon. So I'm excited for that, and I'll let you guys know how it is, because I know I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid hasn't released a book in a while, and so I feel like this is very highly anticipated. I feel like this is very highly anticipated for a lot of people. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. Alrighty guys, that was the summer books that I think you should read on your next vacation or staycation, whatever it may be. If it is summer, I think you should read these books. I think that they're all great for different reasons. Let me know down below what is on your summer TBR. I'm very anxious to know. There's so many good books coming out in the summer, so I'm dying to know. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.